Evening all. Oh, Blaine's joined, we're privileged. Hope everyone's good, enjoying the lovely weather. Just wait for Jan to join us when he's ready. I think he'll be on in a minute. He's coming on now. Yeah, here's the man himself. Hi Jan.
Hi, you good?
How's things, mate? Thank you for joining me.
Yes, you're welcome. How are you?
Not too bad, mate. Looking forward to this. I've been a bit nervous about this one.
No, don't be. I'm nervous as well. So.
Thank you very much for taking the time out to
No,
see us.
no problem, not a problem at all.
How's it been going for you in terms of lockdown and that? I suppose it must be hard.
Yeah, it's been around 6 weeks now. First of all, I think we thought, we were all gonna be back soon.
Yeah.
But then it became clear quite quick that we'd spend a couple weeks or months in the house, and I think it's easier when the weather's nice. I've got 2 kids and a little garden, and I felt like when we could go out, it was quite easy. But now I felt like maybe it's because of it's 6 weeks or whatever. But if you can't go out and you're in the house, then that's not you.
It's hard.
Yeah.
I feel your pain.
The kids are upstairs now, and I'm like, heaven. Yeah, so no, we've been training every morning. So we call in on Zoom. That's like a video call, like let's say FaceTime or Skype or whatever. And at 11 o'clock, and there's someone at the training ground who presents a training session. And we all have like material in the house, like a bike and some power bags and elastic bands. And we train for like an hour and a half every day, and the weekends we're off.
I see that some of the players have gone back today. Is that true that some of them have gone in today?
Yeah, I think, but it's still very strict. It's like we don't come in the dressing room. We arrive. I mean, like the guys who were at training ground today, they arrived in the car. They train on separate pitches. Not allowed in the dressing room. They have to shower at home. So it's still very strict.
Yeah.
But at least you can be on the pitch again, and you have the facilities of the training ground, and it's good to be back, I think. Yeah.
I'm a bit hot, so I'm going to take this off and wear this one instead. Look.
Okay, that's good.
I thought I would wear this one instead. That's a bit better for me.
I've got a Spurs jumper on, so we're all cool.
We're good.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to talk a little bit about your career. So what age did you start playing football? Because obviously you was in Belgium, and then you come over to Holland, didn't you? So what age did you start playing in Belgium?
Sorry.
That's all right.
I'm looking at my battery. But no, I was 6 years old when I joined the football club in my local town in Belgium.
Mm-hmm.
But I have 2 brothers, and one is 1 year older and one is 3 years younger. So we had a big garden, and we used to play football all the time. And now these days you can start at 3 or 4 year old. Even my boy is 2.5. He already started playing football in the park with some people. But we just did it in the garden. And when I was 6 year old, I joined the local football academy with my oldest brother, and that's where it took off.
Do they still play as well?
No. My oldest brother, he retired a couple of years ago because of work and family, but he played on amateur level
Okay.
for a long time. And my younger brother, he still plays actually on the third or the fourth level in Belgium. It's not professional at all, but it's an okay level. And he was close at one point. I think he had a chance of making the step, but no one came in for him. And I think that's when he realized it's not going to happen. And then he just took normal life.
So you went to Ajax, I think. Was it? How old were you? About 17, was you?
16, yeah.
16.
Mm.
And did you? And you went through the academy kind of thing through there, didn't you? And Ajax have obviously got a massive academy.
I joined an Antwerp team when I was 12, and then they had like a certain connection with Ajax, you know, like an agreement with them, like they could have the best talents in return for some money or trainers. I don't even know exactly. And a couple of us, like Thomas Vermaelen, who played for Arsenal and Barcelona, he came from the academy. Moussa Dembele came through that academy, but he didn't join Ajax. But so when I was 16, now when I was 15, I went on trial with Moussa Dembele, and the next season they invited me back in, and it was a tough decision, to be fair. Leaving my friends and family behind. I was only
such a young age.
Yeah, I had to stay in like a foster family for a couple of years, and but it was probably the best choice of my life. And one manager when I was 15, he said like, if it doesn't work out, you can always come back to any team in Belgium. And that's when I realized, it's true. So why not? And I went, and I stayed there for 9 years.
What an experience the Ajax, academy is. What did you think of them when you got there? Because obviously it's still one of the best in the world now. It's still producing all the time, isn't it?
It's probably still the best in the world. To be fair, that's more than 15 years ago, and so lots of things have changed. I think these guys are training 4, 5, 6 hours a day now, or even more, and they live at the training ground nearly. And when I was there, it was just like hour and a half, 2 hours a day. So, but the technique and the methods and the methodology, it was just different way of thinking. And I loved it. I loved Amsterdam. I loved Ajax. I loved the players, the mentality, and I was very, very proud to wear that shirt. And I still think it's one of the most beautiful shirts in the world. And to put that on and later to play in the arena and be captain of that club was sometimes I really sat down and think back, and it was a great time. I wish I could go back there. I mean like back being 15, 16 and realize what special time it was.
What it all meant, sort of thing. Yeah. I mean, I still see some of their pictures, their facilities now. It's still, they're still working from the same philosophy.
I think they bought some land around this, and they keep extending and building it. Like it's just it's crazy, and the philosophy, and it's just
because the philosophy hasn't really changed, has it? It's always been Johan Cruyff's sort of philosophy, and it hasn't really sort of changed over the years, has it? Which is, it's kind of good, and it obviously works because they keep producing.
They always try to improve, obviously, and because they don't have the money from the Premier League clubs, so they have to be creative, stay one step ahead. But they managed to do that, and I think they stopped focusing a bit more on getting young talents in from other countries as well, and develop them on an early age. But if you see what they produce, it's just that's how they make the money. They sell players for 50, 60 million, and they get another one from the academy, so they don't have to invest every time when they sell a player. And that's in lots of Premier League teams and other teams. When you sell a player, you have to buy a new one, and that's a problem.
What was it like to make the jump from Ajax to Tottenham? Was it a hard decision to make? Because obviously, as you're saying, you was quite passionate about Ajax, wasn't you?
No, it was definitely not as hard as the Ajax decision because I was 25 and I expected to leave the year before, but I didn't. So I stayed another year, and which was good because I won the best player of the year that year in Holland, and we became champion, and I was captain. But yeah, so Tottenham came in for me that season, and Tottenham was a promising team. Had some great players. Were pushing like for that top four spot, and that's what I wanted. I wanted an ambitious team that played football that suited me, and Tottenham came in and was perfect for me.
Yeah, I think since you've come in, you've been absolutely phenomenal. I can't think of, I think you've been a fantastic servant for the club. So I'm more than happy you come in when you did. Who is the most underrated player you think you've played with?
For me, even though he was rated,
I know who you're going to say.
Even though he was rated, I still have to say Moussa Dembele.
Yeah, the GOAT.
Because I think he had like the season before he left, when he had that Champions League run, when Juventus kicked us out. We had that February, March when we played Arsenal, United, and Juventus, and he had like a couple, very good games. And finally, I thought he got that appreciation a bit. Yeah. And I thought he's playing like this every week.
Yeah.
So it made me angry a bit as well because he's the most humble guy he will meet in the world, and he never spoke out. And sometimes if you don't speak out, people just don't notice you, because we had at that time Harry Kane and Sonny and Dele Alli was coming through, and Christian Eriksen and so many other good players, and because he was that humble, and maybe because he doesn't score 5 or 10 goals a season, but like it's easy to see if you they asked so many players of our team and everyone said Dembele, and you could have said Kane or Son, but
I think you noticed a lot when he went in January. That's when we kind of had that sort of decline, isn't it?
It's a shame, and for me, he's might sound he's up there with the best. Not with obviously Messi, but he's up there with the best midfielders in the last decade for me.
I think for Spurs fans, we all love him, and I think it's because he doesn't score enough. He doesn't score a lot. He doesn't assist a lot, but it's the way he breaks down the play, and he does off the ball.
What defensive midfielder scores more than 5 goals a season? I can't name one defensive midfielder who scores more than 5 goals a season. And 5, I mean, so obviously Moussa didn't score 5, but you don't need to.
He broke down everything, didn't he?
He got the ball out of my feet. How do you expect him to score goals? He's a defensive midfielder, so that's just no. I think lots of other midfielders were happy when he left.
I've seen a lot of people saying that the one player they hated playing against was Moussa Dembele, because he was just strong, he won everything. It was just a hard battle for everyone. They knew it was always going to be a hard battle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was sad when he left, and I think lots of teammates and fans.
Yeah. Well, I think we're still suffering now. Best player you've played against?
This is funny because I was a centre back for my 15 years, let's say, and I've come across the best players in the world. I played against Messi, Ronaldo, Suarez, Aguero. I played against all of them, but the one where I struggled the most for 90 minutes, like non-stop 90 minutes, was when I played left back against Wolves, against Traore. And I played out of position, and these are all things. So I should name like Suarez or Aguero probably, but obviously they were good and they were sometimes better than me, but I think where I struggled for 90 minutes was this season against